Good evening. This is CTV News for Monday, December 28th. I'm Denise Douglas. So glad you could join us tonight. Well, a man is dead and a teenager injured after an ATV they were riding on collides with an SUV. CTV's Sonia Srivastava has more on this tragic story.
Intersection of Walker Mill Road and Waterford Drive here in Capitol Heights, and this is where the accident took place last night. And police are telling us that ATVs are illegal in Prince George's County, so that ATV riding here should have never been here. The crash took the life of 29-year-old Jerome Odom and injured his teenage stepdaughter. Police say yesterday evening around 5:45, Odom was riding his ATV in the 7400 block of Walker Mill Road and Waterford Drive when the SUV tried to make a left-hand turn. Both victims were thrown off the vehicle. They were not wearing seatbelts.
Fortunately, the driver of the SUV is okay.
Police say ATVs are illegal on public roads in Prince George's, but the challenge has been
our pursuit policy does not allow us to chase for anything but an armed robbery, an armed carjacking, a contact shooting, or a homicide. So unless we believe that these riders have committed or we believe they have committed one of those crimes, it's not within our pursuit policy to chase for that.
Now the police department is paying close attention to these type of incidents.
We are using our WAVE team, or the Washington Area Vehicle Enforcement Team, to use investigative techniques to get to these illegal vehicles.
Now, police wouldn't say if they have seen an increase in these type of crashes, but they are certainly urging the community to help them out. You know, if you know someone with an ATV or if you see someone riding an ATV, they're asking that you give them a call. In Capitol Heights, I'm Sonia Srivastava. Back to you.
Thank you for that, Sonia. Drivers stopped for operating an ATV on a county-maintained roadway face a fine of up to $290 and possible arrest for operating an uninsured vehicle. The ATV can also be impounded. Well, it's officially back open. You may remember that Piscataway Drive ruptured back in 2014, causing a landslide. That led to the evacuation of 28 homes in the Fort Washington community where that is. Officials concluded that the intense rains during that time saturated a layer of clay inside a ridge that triggered the landslide that sent trees buckling, cracked the main road, and caused water and sewer lines to break. Paulette Jones with the Department of Public Works says the road has been reinforced to prevent something like that from happening again.
We actually reconstructed over 1,700 linear feet of roadway and 22 feet wide, and that included new curb and gutter and guardrails. And but primarily we had to drill over 400 steel H-piles into the roadway for the global stabilization.
The road cost about $50 million to repair, the bulk of which was paid for by the county. Baltimore plans to shell out big bucks to counties for their help during the unrest last April and May after the death of Freddie Gray. According to the Baltimore Sun, Montgomery County Police will receive close to $300,000 and Laurel Police will be reimbursed by $55,000. In all, Baltimore's government will pay jurisdictions about $1.8 million. In May, the city's spending panel approved $20 million to cover costs, which also include overtime for officers, firefighters, and property damage. No word yet on how much Prince George's County Police Department might receive. Meanwhile, the Baltimore Sun reports that many weapons used to commit crimes in Maryland were originally bought elsewhere. The Federal Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives traced the origin of more than 5,000 guns recovered in Maryland in 2014 and found that more than 2,200 were purchased in other states. The data shows that Pennsylvania and Virginia were the biggest firearms providers. The Sun also reports that most of the guns were recovered in Baltimore, while others were found in cities such as Silver Spring and Frederick. You are watching CTV News, and I'm Denise Douglas.